Konnichiwa minasan. Hey friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. This is a channel where we discuss about Japan, Japanese culture and Japanese language. This series is for beginners, Japanese lessons for beginners. Today we are at lesson 91 and the topic for today is the three particles for motion verbs ni, e and de. Friends, before we start today's lesson, I would request you to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so far, so that whenever we upload video of a new lesson, you get instant notification. For all the previous lessons, if you want them at one place, then do visit the playlists section of this channel and click on the playlist named as Japanese Lessons for Beginners. Under that playlist, you will find all the previous 90 lessons in serial order all together at one place. So in that way, if you have missed any of the lessons, you can watch those in sequence. So with that, we start today's lesson, motion verbs and particles. So what are motion verbs? Motion verbs are basically the verbs which denote a motion. That means either going or coming or returning from some place. So these are all motion verbs. We have done motion verbs in one of our previous lessons. So the first one is iku, which means to go. So as in ikimasu, ikimasen, ikimashita, ikimasen deshita, and so on. Ikimasho, ikimasenka. So this is iku. Then we have kuru, which means to come. Kimas, kimashita, kimis, kimasen, and so on. The third motion verb is kairu. Kairu means to go back home. Kairimas. And we have moduru, which means to go back from where someone came. So this is modorimas, modorimashita, and so on. So out of these, ikimas is the most common one, which is used to denote going somewhere. And in today's lesson, we will use this verb to explain the concepts. And you can practice using the remaining three, that is kuru, kairu, and modoru. So let's move ahead. Now, a simple sentence that contains a motion verb can have these three parts. The name of a place, which is a noun, followed by a particle, and then finally the motion verb. So this will be the structure: noun, particle, verb. Similarly, the sentence may not contain the name of the place, but still the verb be a motion verb. And in place of the place, the noun will be mode of transport. So the structure will again be the same: mode of transport, which is a noun followed by a particle, and it will be followed by the motion verb. So if you recall, we have already learnt these two things. So let me give two examples, then you will be able to easily recall. So the first one is Tokyo e ikimasu. So now Tokyo is the name of the place and ikimasu is the motion verb. And these two are connected using which particle? A particle. So this we have already learned. So if the noun is the name of a place, then a particle will be used. Now what happens when the mode of transport is mentioned instead of the name of the place in the place of a noun? So in that case, it will be, for example, densha de ikimasu. So now the place has changed to the mode of transport. Earlier it was Tokyo, now it is densha. Densha means train. So densha de ikimasu means I am going by train. I am going in the train. I am going by train. So de particle will be used. De particle is used when we describe the how the travel will take place or how the person will go. That means by what mode of transport or using what mode of transport the action will be taken. So not only mode of transport, it is the means basically. If the means is written by how some work will be done, then that work and the means will be connected using the de particle. So Tokyo e ikimasu, densha de ikimasu. I am going to Tokyo. I am going by train. So if you want to map these particles with the English conjunctions and prepositions, then A will be to and they will be by. Now, what happens if we combine these two? If we combine these two sentences, then what will happen? So it will be, I am going to Tokyo by bus. So it will be densha de Tokyo e ikimasu. So very simple. So it's just the reverse as in English. So since English follows the subject, verb, object structure, Japanese follows subject, object, verb structure. And that's why the parts get interchanged in the sequence. So densha de Tokyo e ikimasu. So after the mode of transport, there will be de particle, and after the name of the place, there will be a particle. So these two we already learned in the previous lessons. The reason for explaining them once more time, because we will be introducing a new particle in connection with motion verb and noun. So now let's move into that. So we have this Tokyo ikimasu and densha de ikimasu. Then we have the purpose of going. So till now we had the place where someone is going and the mode of transport by which he is going. But the third one we have is for what purpose he is going to that place. So this can again be connected with the motion verb using a particle. So what is that particle? That is ni particle. Kyuujitsu ni ikimasu. Kyuujitsu means holiday or vacation. So here you can see the kanji. This is the kanji for taking rest, right? It is the yasumi. Yasu kanji, which means to take rest, and this is the day. So that means rest days. That means holidays. So kyuujitsu ni ikimasu. So now we see that the purpose, if it is in noun form, then that will be connected with the motion verb using ni particle. So we have three different particles which are used along with the motion verbs to connect them with the noun that precedes it. So Tokyo e ikimasu, densha de ikimasu, kyuujitsu ni ikimasu. Very, very important to understand the differences between these three sentences. The structure of the sentences are exactly the same, but the connecting particles are different. So to summarize, when it is the name of a place, a particle; when it is the name of mode of transport, the particle; and when it is the purpose of going, it is ni particle. So we will look into this ni particle usage more closely, because this is the new concept that we are introducing in today's lesson. So now before that, if we combine all these three, that means if we combine the place, mode of transport and purpose of going, then how will this sentence look like? The sentence will look like kyuujitsu ni densha de Tokyo e ikimasu. I am going to Tokyo by bus for holidays. Just look at the reverse order. So here ni de e, here to by for. So kyuujitsu ni for holidays, densha de by bus, Tokyo e ikimasu. To Tokyo I am going. So it's completely the reverse order as in English. So this is how the SOV and SVO format works. Kyuujitsu ni densha de Tokyo e ikimasu. So there is a motion verb ikimasu, and there is the place where he is going, the mode of transport by which he is going, and the purpose or the reason of his going. So all these will be connected in the same sentence using three different particles. So it is very important to understand the difference between the usage of these three particles. The ni particle. So now we will focus on the ni particle, because that is the new thing we are discussing today. Noun ni iku. Noun ni iku. Iku is the root form of the verb, which is same as ikimasu. So noun ni iku. The ni particle is used before a motion verb to connect the purpose of the travel or the noun with the motion verb. So it has to be remembered that the purpose should be in the noun form only and not in a verb form. So if it is in a verb form, then also it can be connected with the motion verb, but that we will learn in a subsequent lesson. Today, our purpose is to understand how a noun which denotes the purpose will be linked with the motion verb using the ni particle. So another example, tsuri ni ikimasu. Do you know what is tsuri? Tsuri means fishing. So tsuri ni ikimasu means I am going for fishing. So since fishing is the noun, to fish is the verb, fishing is noun. So this is this following the same structure, noun ni ikimasu, and there will be ni particle because fishing is the purpose. So the fish, I am going, and what is the purpose of my going? It is fishing. So tsuri ni ikimasu. Then we have sampo ni ikimasu. Sampo means to take a walk. I am going for a walk. Sampo ni ikimasu. So sampo is taking a walk. This is mainly for the health reason. And if we want to say a general walking, like I go to the office walking, then it will be arukimasu. So you need to understand the difference between arukimasu and sampo shimasu. So sampo shimasu is the walking for health purpose, exercising purpose, and arukimasu is the normal walking. I am going for a walk. Sampo ni ikimasu. So sampo here is a noun. Sampo shimasu is the verb. Sampo is the noun. Similarly, benkyo shimasu and benkyo. Denwa shimasu and denwa. So these are noun and verb forms. Let's look at another example. Depato e kaimono ni ikimasu. Depato is departmental store. Kaimono is shopping. So kaimono ni ikimasu. This is the ni particle because kaimono is shopping, which is a noun and which is also the purpose. So the noun purpose will be connected using ni particle with the motion verb, which is ikimasu here. And the destination, the name of the place is depato. So it will be followed by the a particle. So depato e kaimono ni ikimasu. I am going shopping at the departmental store. Ashita kogo shichiji ni koen e sanpo ni ikimasu. So very good example. Okay friends, so don't get too much worried about these kanji symbols because I know that we have not done all these kanji symbols and these are uh, advanced kanji symbols. So you need not worry. This is only for reference purpose. So that's the reason why I have provided the Romaji version. So you can, if you want to practice, you can use the hiragana as well to write all these. So in our kanji lessons, we will learn all of these one by one in the sequence order in the grade system. So currently we are learning the grade 1 and grade 2 kanjis, and in that sequence we will go for higher grades. So please be patient and don't get worried about these kanjis. Ashita gogo shichiji ni koen e sanpo ni ikimasu. That means I am going for a walk in the park tomorrow at 7 p.m. Ashita is tomorrow. Gogo is evening. Shichiji means 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock, it will be followed by the ni particle, as we know that after a specific time there should be the ni particle to connect it with the verb. Koen is park, and Koen, since it is the place, it will be followed by the a particle. So time will be followed by ni particle, place will be followed by a particle, and the purpose of going is sampo, that is to take a walk. So this is the noun form of the walk. So sampo ni ikimasu. So this is our point of concern for today's lesson. Sampo ni ikimasu. So this is the main phrase here. Sampo ni ikimasu, but it is added with some additional information. Ashita gogo shichiji ni koen e sanpo ni ikimasu. I am going for a walk in the park tomorrow at 7 p.m. Again, the English translation is in the reverse order because of the SVO and SOV structure of the two languages. Sensei no uchi e benkyou ni ikimasu. Sensei no uchi, that means uchi of sensei. That means house of sensei or sensei's house. Sensei no uchi e Benkyō ni ikimasu. Now, what is the place or the destination? Sensei no uchi. That means teacher's house. And so that's why it will be followed by the a particle. And Benkyō is study, which is the noun, and it is the purpose of going. So this will be followed by the ni particle. Sensei no uchi e Benkyō ni ikimasu. Very, very beautiful example. I go to my teacher's house to study. To go from one place to another in order to accomplish some task with some purpose in mind. So this is the motivation towards using the ni particle between the purpose noun and the motion verb, which is iku in most cases. So this is the summary of noun ni iku. So now let's look at a conversation, a simple conversation involving this ni particle, so that it will be clear and also you will have a practice of conversation. So this is a conversation between Tanaka-san and Suzuki-san. As you can see here from these kanjis, this is Tanaka and this is Suzuki. So Suzuki-san and Tanaka-san have met somewhere and they are in a conversation. So let's see what are they talking about. Suzuki-san, 昨日はデパートへ行きましたか？はい、私を見ましたか？はい、私は1階にいました。あなたはエスカレーターにいました。そうですか。買い物に行きました。なるほど。魚と卵と鶏肉を買いました。私も魚を買いました。So friends, did you get anything? Did you get the meaning of what's going on in this conversation? So the first sentence is, Tanaka-san says, Suzuki-san, 昨日はデパートへ行きましたか? Now, 昨日 means yesterday. That means yesterday did you go to the departmental store? Now, ikimashita is the past tense as you all know, and ikimashitaka means this is the interrogation. So this denotes the past tense, and kino also says yesterday. So yesterday did you go to the departmental store? Suzuki-san says, Hai, watashi o mimashita ka? Now, watashi o, that means here watashi is the object. It's not the subject. Watashi o mimashita ka? Did you see me there? Did you see me? So if it is subject, then it will be followed by either wa particle or ga particle. Since it is followed by o particle, that means this is not the subject but the object. So that's why the translation of this line will be, Hai, watashi o mimashita ka? That means, yes, did you see me? So now here me is the object. So that's why this watashi symbol is followed by the o particle and not the wa or ga particle. So watashi o mimashita ka? Did you see me? Tanaka-san says, Hai, watashi wa ikkai ni imashita. Now ikkai. Ikkai means the first floor. So we have learned this in one of our previous lessons. Kai. Kai is the counter for floor. So ikkai is the first floor, nikai is the second floor, sangai is the third floor, yokai is the fourth floor, and so on. So this is the first floor, so ikkai. It's not called ichikai, but ikkai. So watashi wa ikkai ni imashita. I was on the first floor. So imashita you have already learnt in a recent lesson, imas and arimas. So this is from there. And we also learned that imash and arimas is preceded by the ni particle. So that's why ni imashita. Ikkai ni imashita. Watashi wa ikkai ni imashita. That means I was on the first floor. And then he says, Anata wa esukareta ni imashita. And you were on the escalator. So that's the reason why we could not have a word. So I saw you that you were going up on the escalator. So this is what Tanaka-san means. I tried to keep it simple. That's why I didn't make it that complicated. So simple sentences. Hai, watashi wa ikkai ni imashita. Anata wa esukareta ni imashita. Then Suzuki-san says, so desu ka? That means, is that so? Or, oh, I see. And then he says, kaimono ni imashita. Kaimono ni ikimashita. Sorry, kaimono ni ikimashita. That means I went there for shopping. Kaimono is shopping, and since kaimono is the purpose of going there, so kaimono and ikimashita will be connected using the ni particle as we just saw in this lesson. Kaimono ni ikimashita. Then Tanaka-san says, naruhodo. Naruhodo means I see. And then Suzuki-san says further about what he purchased. So, sakana to tamago to toriniku o kaimashita. That means he bought fish, eggs, and chicken. Toriniku is chicken. So, tori niku o kaimashita. That is purchased. I purchased fish, eggs, and chicken. And then Tanaka-san says, watashi mo sakana o kaimashita. I too purchased fish. So this is the conversation. So I hope you have understood. And again, as I said, don't get bothered with these kanjis. This is just for representational purposes. You can use hiragana. So before closing, let's read out loud. So you can also read it out just like me so that you can pronounce these words correctly and it will be a good practice for you. Pronouncing and reading out loud is very, very important to learn a language and to practice a language properly. So if you read in your mind, then you will never get the pronunciation that is needed. So let's read together. Say with me. Suzuki-san, 昨日はデパートへ行きましたか？はい。私を見ましたか？はい。私は1階にいました。あなたはエスカレーターにいました。そうですか。買い物に行きました。なるほど。魚と卵と鶏肉を買いました。私も魚を買いました。So friends, that's it for today. So we are at lesson 91. We have done with our lesson today in which we discussed about the ni particle and how it is connected, how it connects the motion verb with the purpose of the motion. In the next lesson, we shall learn something new. And till then, thank you very much for watching this video and see you next time. Arigatou gozaimasu. Mata imashou.